Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of the BMPodcast. This is going to be continuing our discussion from last week's episode about Oscar talk. So here we go. I'm Hetty Bishop.
I'm Ashley Cooper.
Olivia Murrah.
I'm Brandon Johnston.
And I'm Surafel Casa.
Oh gosh, this is where it's about to get real, guys. Next category,
Film
editing.
I'm stuck between two, but I think I'm leaning towards one.
I'm not stuck at all.
I'm stuck between... Okay, well, first of all, the nominees are Baby Driver, Dunkirk, I, Tonya, Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards.
Now, I haven't seen 3 Billboards.
Yeah.
But I, Tonya.
I, Tonya.
Wait,
So
question. Has anyone here seen 3 Billboards?
No,
No.
I'm not. I
Brady-
want to.
Wait, has anyone here seen Shape of Water?
No.
Confirmed that we
Okay.
haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, we suck.
I
We're
think-
broke college kids.
Yeah, don't expect too much from us. We get what we can.
For
Yeah.
me, I really think I, Tonya wins this one. I mean, Baby Driver, I really like how they sync the movements with the music, but I think that might be more of a sound editing type thing than a film editing. Maybe, I'm not positive.
I don't know.
No,
That
they cut
film,
the
there,
film editing to the music. It was all about the music, and every aspect, like
There-
everything about everything. with the
there is
movie.
not a single cut in that movie that is not on beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
Or
that's
it's
why
emotional. I mean, it's all...
I think this goes Baby Driver hands down.
Okay,
But I,
it is.
I
Tonya
would
was
say
so
so.
much better. Like, for me, I enjoyed I, Tonya way more than I enjoyed Baby Driver.
That's
but I
not
do
the, that's not
understand-
the category.
I know it's not the category. This is why I'm saying, which is why, but you interrupted me. So, but I do think Baby Driver, like, because of it being so in sync with the music and beating it, like, you know, every single movement that Ansel Elgort did, like, I think I said his name right, I don't know, but every single thing that he did
Say Ansel
matched
Elgort.
perfectly with the music and the beat of the music, and so that's why I'm like, I don't know, but I really like I, Tonya.
Well, so much of the story in Baby Driver, I mean, plays out in the editing.
Yeah.
But I loved I, Tonya, and I feel like a huge reason why I loved I, Tonya was the editing. I mean, it's paced the same way that a Scorsese movie is edited. I mean,
It is.
yeah.
And you know how much I love I, Tonya.
Yes.
I don't
But Baby Driver, I can't imagine sitting down at an editing station and editing Baby Driver.
You know, it's funny
Like-
that you said like Scorsese because watching I, Tonya, I got reminded of a movie that like you'll know that I love that I've been like that no one else really loves as much as I do, like The Big Short, which is a movie that came out in 2015. That like no, it's not like a thing
Who
that's
said
like
no one
everyone.
liked it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what?
Well, no, what I mean is like it's not like one of those movies that it's like, oh man, remember that? It's like it's not like Wolf of Wall Street, where it came out in recent memory and
guess
people were
you're
like,
right
oh, it's so
about that.
great. It's like The Big Short's like, oh yeah, like no one.
I will
remembers it
say, I
usually.
think that Wolf of Wall Street is the better version of The Big Short.
But anyways, sorry, back to what I was saying. I remember watching I, Tonya. I remember being reminded of The Big Short just because of like all the in the editing and like how they would suddenly like cut to like that's not
Yeah.
what really happened.
Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
like little asides from like celebrities.
And I
which,
love
by the way,
that.
Margot Robbie was in The Big Short, a little
Yeah.
fun thing.
Yeah.
But like I just and I was like, oh, I love.
She was-
those two movies. It's like I just love Margot Robbie cutting to the camera and explaining things to me.
She was
Like,
also in The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's what we just
What
said.
the
Yeah.
hell?
He
Yeah.
said The Big Short. He's just also he's
Yeah.
more notable in that movie.
So just I love movies
Also
about
better.
with Margot
Margot
Robbie
Robbie.
in finance or explaining things to me. That's The Big Short has
Talking
a diagram.
directly to me.
Finance talking directly to me.
So, like,
Big Short's got
mansplaining,
both.
but like Margot-splaining.
Margot's
In a tub
Yeah.
with a
I
mimosa.
want
You heard
everything
it
Margot
here first.
explained
It was
to me
champagne.
always.
Yes.
Well, back on like the Baby Driver v. I, Tonya note, I feel like in terms of editing, Baby Driver has all the beats laid out for the editors already. I mean,
Literally.
the
Yeah.
script, I mean, down to the script, to the choreography, to the music, everything, like, yes, it's phenomenal, but that's because the script
meticulousness of the director.
writers and the
Yeah.
director, I mean, thought
Same
about
person, I think.
everything, is it?
And you're right, I think
No.
wrote it, didn't he not?
Oh, he wrote it,
Yeah,
yeah.
he wrote and directed it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and directed
So
it.
he did, yeah, script writer and writer. So that's what I'm saying is I feel
We're
like
talking about
he
editing.
did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I know, but he paved the way for the editors to really do a phenomenal job. Whereas I feel like I, Tonya, there are moments where just the edit, and I mean it's
Yeah.
only due to the editor, really shine. Where
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
wow,
agree.
that's a phenomenal edit, and I know that it's not, it wasn't calculated. It was an
Yeah.
aftermath type of result. You know,
She's
that-
upset.
Okay, well, fine. Well, but they didn't nominate him for Best Director, so we're gonna go with editing on that one. So
Ashley's rather upset
Did
about
nominate
that.
who?
They didn't nominate Edgar Wright for Best Director, which is
But
insane.
they did nominate Greta Gerwig, and I think that's beautiful, and I love it.
I ain't see Lady Bird.
No, I mean,
I haven't
she
seen
needs
it
to
yet,
win,
yeah.
but we'll
I
talk on
liked
that later.
Frances Ha a lot, so
Well, we'll get into those as we get closer, but
yeah.
I know for these next couple ones, we'll probably go through them pretty quick because I don't think
Oh,
we've
DeKalb
seen...
Elementary. That's
Yeah, I want to talk about that one in just a second.
okay.
Well, best foreign language film.
Let's just skip that because none of us.
None of us have seen it. Best live action short: DeKalb Elementary, The 11 O'clock, My Nephew Emmett, Silent Child, and I almost said Waifu Wote, but it's Watu Wote / All of Us. DeKalb County. For anyone who doesn't know, this is actually based on a story that happened about a year ago in DeKalb County here in Georgia about I think he was a high school student, either middle school or high school. He went to his school with a gun and was planning on shooting up the place. And the farthest he got was the, I think like the front office or something. And one of the women that was like working in there, like realized what was going on and like talked to him and was able to calm him down. And she was able to like get him to like not go through with it. And like they walked out of the school together. And then they apparently made a short film about it. But yeah, that's a really cool story that I only just recently found out about, and that made me excited to talk about it. But I haven't seen it, but now I really want to see it.
I'm honestly shocked that I did not know about that.
Yeah, especially this would be really cool if it was like produced in Georgia.
Yeah.
Probably
I
was.
just saw something. I
Yeah.
just saw the one that's called My Nephew Emmett, and like
I've
not
also
gonna
heard
be
about
happy.
another one.
That's gonna be sad.
That is going to be very sad.
So looking forward to
Why
seeing
is it
that.
going to be sad? Do you know
It's
anything
almost
about
definitely Emmett Till. Like almost
Most
definitely.
likely, I'm fairly certain.
Oh,
it's
it
about Emmett Till.
definitely is.
But
Best documentary short subject.
All right,
I
we've got
don't
Edith
know any of
and
these.
Eddie.
Yeah, can we just skip this one? Because
well, I'm really hoping Knife
Unless-
Skills is literally just like 90 minutes of a guy with like a butterfly knife just going.
Just
like-
yeah, I was just
flipping
like,
it around in his fingers, and like the camera just ever so slowly like pans in until like
over the duration of the
deleted
90
scene.
minutes.
over the duration of the 90 minutes, does not break. The guy keeps going, and the only audio you hear is just him like occasionally going as he's like
Oscar,
twisting
done.
it.
not the.
No,
The-
you would
the
specifically edit that out.
Oh wow.
All you can hear is just his little gasps, and like he like breathes a sigh of relief every
Fervent
time he doesn't like
concentration.
cut his finger while he's flipping it around.
How does it end?
It just ends.
He
It
drops the
it
knife.
cuts to black, and then like I don't know, it plays like the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Oh my gosh, I've got it. It zooms all the way in steadily to his eyes. It zooms in all the way steadily to his eyes, and then at the last moment he glares into the camera, and then
And then shouts,
Cut to
based
black.
on a true story, and then cuts to black.
I thought it would cut to the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
gosh, would you guys
With
believe
the
we're
Curb Your
filmmakers?
Oh, knife skills. I thought when you said that you said nice skills, and I was like, I mean that's
I
funny.
picked a very specific skill to be
Yeah.
deemed nice for this documentary.
Did y'all ever?
Right. Sorry to disappoint though, guys, but we actually
Yeah, we haven't
are
seen it.
bad film lovers and have not seen any of these documentary shorts, so we're just
Or
gonna skip
documentary
past
features.
those.
And 3 of us were in a class called documentary filmmaking last semester.
So you know.
Cinematography.
You know, and I love documentaries. I don't know why
Me
I
too.
haven't seen these.
Okay.
Next
Brick.
subject, cinematography.
So for that, we have Blade Runner,
Yes.
Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, which, interesting, this is the first time a woman has been nominated for cinematography,
Yes.
and Shape of Water.
I think, okay, Shape of Water is probably beautiful. I mean, from the trailers, it looks so beautiful. But because I've not seen that, I'm just not going to count this in my rankings. But I think Blade Runner 2049 and Dunkirk are both really good, but I think Dunkirk is just slightly under Blade Runner 2049. Then I think it's probably Darkest Hour and Mudbound are really kind of tied. Mudbound was beautiful, but it did not like make me like lose my breath like Blade Runner did. Because it just was really beautiful, and like I don't know if it was a cough or a laugh, but I've just
A cough.
it's gonna be an agreement with me.
Yeah,
Is what I'm
okay.
gonna think. But I do think Blade Runner 2049 has this because it has stuck with me. The visuals of that movie have stuck with me. But I think they're all worthy of this. There are no flubs or snubs or whatever was going for this. I don't know. They're beautiful, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said earlier, I haven't seen Blade Runner, but I love Roger Deakins.
Roger
and
Deakins,
from what
yeah.
I've seen from Blade Runner, it looks incredible. Part of that is largely due to lighting on set.
Blade
yes,
Runner.
you will be very disappointed if Blade Runner does
I
not
will
win.
never watch the Oscars again if Blade Runner does not
False.
win.
You're just being dramatic.
I don't think you understand my
Call it
love
a
for
no.
Roger
Nobody ever be
Deakins.
hyperbolic in front of Olivia. She will call you out.
She takes the notes.
I am the queen of hyperbole.
Next category.
Next category, original screenplay. Here we have The Big Sick,
Ha!
Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water,
I don't know.
and Three
I
Billboards.
don't know either.
I'm just gonna say I haven't seen Three Billboards yet, but Martin McDonagh's writing is always phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen The Big Sick, Get Out, and Lady Bird, and I do not know which one I root for because they
Honestly,
were all so good.
I just love The Big Sick because I just love how it managed to be funny while at the same time telling a story about the financial fall of 2008. And I think that's a really good accomplishment.
You are not telling the truth. Do not listen to him. These people. You made me lose words.
That was a joke. But I think I'm about to go for Get Out just because you never see horror movies, and also Jordan Peele
That's
is like.
true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
have a
wasn't
soft
that his
spot for
debut,
comedians
too?
not doing. It's yeah.
Agreed.
And honestly,
I
the
have a soft
story,
spot for. Well, actually, no. His debut was Keanu.
the story goes all kinds
Did
of
he write that?
directions.
Yeah, him and Peele. I'm pretty sure they wrote that. They
But
co-wrote
he
it.
didn't direct it.
They did.
No, but
Okay.
it's
This is his writing
screenplay,
and
so-
directing, though,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, writing some of the screenplays, but yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
also also directorial debut, but I guess it's his solo screenplay debut. But that doesn't really
I guess
count.
so, yeah.
But yeah, but he
I,
wrote.
I would be happy if Get Out won.
Me too.
I'd be
just-
happy if any of these won. I mean,
I gotta
Also
say,
true.
I've only seen The Big Sick, Get Out, and Lady Bird, and at first I was agreeing with you, Olivia, that like I'm so split down the middle of all three of those, I could not choose. But the more that I'm thinking about it, the more that I'm realizing The Big Sick is a phenomenal movie, but also a little formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
And Get Out and Lady Bird are more.
Lady Bird.
Get Out and Lady Bird are far
more original.
and
Mhm.
they're just fresher.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm still gonna say though, if Three Billboards takes it, I won't be mad at all because Martin McDonagh deserves an Oscar for his work, and he did not win one for In Bruges.
Okay, but who here hasn't seen Lady Bird?
That's me and Ashley and Surafel holding up our hands.
It was beautiful.
It was
I mean,
so
okay,
good.
so we all have a place that we think of when we think of home, and
Home.
I felt so connected with her.
yeah,
So
I mean,
Saoirse Ronan, like I felt so connected to her character and what she was representing because, like the entire time, like I've said those things, I've done those things, like I mean, like in a different town, in a different way, yes, but like I felt those emotions, and I just think it was really nice.
so we all have a place that we strongly associate with as just being home, feeling like home, and Greta Gerwig, the way that she wrote her script for Lady Bird, the whole thing is just a love note to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
And it really puts you there and makes you care about Sacramento, this whatever town that a lot of us have nothing to do with, but she makes you care about it. And I mean, I think that's really beautiful because it's just this. There's nothing fun or exciting happening in Sacramento, and that's sort of the whole point of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of that revelation that Lady Bird gets whenever she leaves home, and she realizes, you know.
Well, I find
Yeah.
like what you said about like how it feels so specific to Sacramento. I feel like that's like a thing that like a lot of things that I really like. It's very obvious. It's very close to the person that made it. It makes you care about it. Like, and I feel like people feel like you have to go general to be relatable. And I feel like the more specific you get, the more and more relatable it was. Like I like watching Master of None season 2 and season 1. I remember like I'm not an Indian American person, but I remember like watching like the episodes and being like, I know exactly what that feels like. I did not grow up as an Indian kid in the '80s, but I know exactly like what that moment feels like. I know exactly like, what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I just moments like that where they make something that is very unique to them and very specific, and they manage to do it like in a way that you can tell is real, even though you don't really know anything about that thing. It's always great. So
That's how I feel about Big Mouth.
Yeah. Well, see, I agree with everything that you're saying, and see, Sacramento, it's a bigger town than
Yeah.
where I'm from, but it felt very
every time's bigger from when you're from.
true. But like it felt very personal because like her struggle with like hating Sacramento because like Lady Bird seems to kind of hate Sacramento until she leaves Sacramento, and like I kind of understand that because of the fact that I hated my hometown, and then whenever I leave, I sort of kind of like, oh, well, I miss the drive-through ice cream shop and this big old tree that I used to pass on the way to wherever I was going, you know, like there are certain things that I connect with, and that like Sacramento is a big city, and I hated where I was from. You know, like Lady Bird does, and like I really do connect with it, even though like it has nothing. It's nowhere near my experience because I was much smaller, but I connect with it also. I don't think that was a spoiler.
Don't spoil anything for me.
It's not really a spoiler, but we're gonna cut it out anyway, just because I guess it kind of could
Is it a
be.
spoiler?
No, honestly,
I'm
I think
sorry.
that
No.
Audience at home, do you think this is a spoiler?
I'm
Let us
still
know.
Yes.
I don't feel like I was like anything was spoiled for me. Like
Well, I mean, like you go into it knowing she's a senior in high school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you know that she's going to school.
Yeah,
elsewhere.
it's a matter of you don't know what school she's going to.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I never knew she left. I haven't seen anything.
I don't consider it a spoiler. There's
I
still so much
do.
of the spoiler.
Yeah, that doesn't like. That
I'm
wouldn't-
sorry.
Sorry
It
if
doesn't ruin
we've
it for me.
decided to leave it in and have spoiled this for you guys.
I'm sorry.
Yes, if this is indeed a spoiler.
All right.
I'll
so-
stop
It
recording.
is. I'm upset.
So, final verdict on
Original.
original screenplay.
if
Lady
I
Bird.
like Greta Gerwig, I like Peele, I like Kumail Nanjiani, and Emily. I mean, I don't really know much about Emily Gordon, but she wrote the script too. I thought it was great. So if any of them win, I'll be happy. I really want Jordan Peele to win for Get Out, but any of those three that I mentioned, if they win, I'll be pretty happy. So
Same for me, but I feel like mostly it should be in the ballpark of Jordan Peele or Greta Gerwig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Martin McDonough.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I
Neither have I, but his writing is phenomenal every
Yeah.
single time.
All right. So yeah, adapted screenplay
Call me by your name.
is one of them. Also, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound.
Call me by your name definitely has my vote.
I would definitely go with Call Me by Your Name as well.
That's the only
Um,
one I've seen.
You haven't seen Disaster Artist?
Or
No.
Logan or
Or
Molly's
Logan?
Game.
No.
I haven't
You
wanted to
heard
go
it
see
here
Mo-
first. Ashley
Mudbound's
is a
on Netflix.
fake
I'm surprised
film.
you didn't see
Okay.
it.
You,
Fake
I'm
fan,
sorry,
fake
what
fan.
did you just say? Who wanted to go see Molly's Game? Who wanted to go see a movie that day?
You
And
saw
who
it.
didn't go with me?
No, I like fully said we weren't to.
I-
No, let's stay here.
And
No,
with
they
Ashley,
said that.
And that I have not seen those, but I have seen Mudbound, and I have wanted to see all the others. But I saw Call Me by Your Name, and that one was my favorite.
Well, let me talk you a little bit about these movies.
Where was I
I've
supposed to
seen
see
all
any of these?
At any movie theater.
Local theater.
These were playing everywhere.
Crazy.
Call Me by Your Name
I
is
just
great
didn't want to
because,
see The Disaster Artist until after I'd finished The Room, and didn't get to finish The Room, so
That is
that's why I
fair.
didn't watch it.
That is
So,
fair.
excuse.
Exactly
The script
same.
of Disaster Artist was good, but it's not what made the movie
Yeah, I
great
was
for
gonna
me.
say for me, The Disaster Artist. This is the first flub in my book.
I don't know about
That
a
doesn't
flub.
deserve to be there?
I don't know that it deserves to be Oscar nom for adapted screenplay. I liked the movie. I don't know that it deserves Oscar nom.
On another side of that, love the movie Logan, should not be here purely just because I think if you're going by an adaptive screenplay, Surafel, you brought this up before we started this,
Oh yeah.
that it's based off the character, but I'm more basing it off of the comic book of Old Man Logan, which is pretty much what like everyone like knows like what it's based off of.
The Academy's very strict. If it's like not a 100% original, like not based off anything before, like even like also remember like Whiplash,
Whiplash,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that the idiocy of all that. Like they're very strict. Like if it's a sequel, if it's an adaptation, if it's a reworking, anything that is not a 100% original idea, they're so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super hyped. I mean, like, okay, so I wanted to go to Molly's Game for a number of reasons. One, you know, Aaron Sorkin. He's my boy.
Your daddy.
Yeah, he's my daddy. That's exactly right. But yeah, Call Me by Your Name is something I thought like would just went my default. But honestly, again, it's one of those things where I don't think what made the movie great was the script. I think it was the direction and honestly the camera work and then the two actors. The script wasn't bad by any means. I just didn't think it really particularly shone. Molly's Game just had that trademark Sorkinian dialogue that I have come to love so much. And I love non-linear storytelling, which is something that he does. So I was super, super enjoying that. But I'm seeing that other people are disagreeing with me with things that I just said.
No.
Truthfully, as
Wrong.
somebody who's seen both Call Me by Your Name and Molly's Game, I mean, they're so different. They're in totally different ballparks.
Extremely.
But Call Me by Your Name was my hands down favorite movie
Yes.
of the year. That being said, I agree with you. The reason why I loved it was largely in part to the performances and the directing. The story had a big part to do with it, sure, but overall,
What story?
Excuse you?
Don't
Yeah, no. I mean, there was no plot. Like
What?
No. I'm not saying that there wasn't like a series of events that happened. I mean, like there wasn't a plot in the traditional sense. It was just kind of like
sure there was.
a
This
bunch of
is
things
the
happening
person-
over the summer.
I'm sorry. This is exactly the person who just said that Dunkirk was boring because it didn't go into the characters. You cannot get more into the characters than
Yes,
this
that's
movie
true.
does. What are you talking about?
That's true. Hold on.
Well, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't say that was a bad
Surafel
thing, by
is
the
a
way.
paradoxal.
No. I'm not, because I didn't say I didn't like Dunkirk because it didn't go to the. This one went into the characters, and I love that. But I'm saying there wasn't a plot.
You did say that.
But you did
What?
say that.
You did say that
You
you
did
didn't
say
like
it doesn't go into the characters. Maybe not on this podcast, but that has been one of
What,
your
Call Me by Your
criticisms.
Name?
No.
No,
Okay.
Dunkirk.
Yeah, exactly. With this one, it goes all into the characters, but there's no plot, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I liked it.
I think the plot is there. You might have missed it.
Yes. You
That-
missed it. But
It's just two people in Italy, and then over the summer, they just kind of like, they mess around a lot.
That is,
then-
oh my
No.
God, you are.
That is so.
That's an ogre's
so not true.
simplification.
It
absolutely.
maybe I'm just a very
you
simple
are
guy.
a
I don't
fan
know.
of minimizing,
If
and
you
cannot do
were, if
that.
you were there in that movie, you were the peach.
Yeah.
I wish you were the peach.
The apricot.
Oh. Oh.
Pardon
At
me.
least you didn't eat it. In the
Also,
movie.
I had my hand up as well.
Spoiler.
All right.
Can I finish what I was saying about Molly's Game real quick?
Yes.
Yes.
As somebody who's seen Molly's Game, it has been a long time. I can't remember the last time that I've been so jarred by a script in the first 10 minutes of a film
Yeah.
that I was in Molly's Game.
Yeah.
It grabs you from the get-go,
Editing.
from the
I'm
very
surprised
first
it didn't get
line.
nominated for editing, honestly.
Me too, honestly. But the script really, in my opinion, in the third act, it lulls. It falls
Yeah.
a little bit. It doesn't totally fall apart, but it doesn't hold up with the first two acts.
Well,
But in the, for overall, the script for Molly's Game, I think was better than the
And for
script.
anyone listening,
Oh,
Your
well,
hand
if
was
it-
not up, sir.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
We
Okay,
have established
so-
I
that
think it
rule.
should go to
I'm
Molly's
sorry.
Game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Call Me by Your Name because, okay, like the whole script thing. All right. So your script for Molly's Game grabbed you from the moment and you just ran with it and then you kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Call Me by Your Name did not do that to me at all. It literally went all the way up for me. And also, like, it was so real. Like, it wasn't that, like, oh my gosh, there wasn't a plot. Like, no. And it grabbed me because it was so real. It wasn't like, oh, I've heard that line 3,000 times. Or, oh my gosh, that's such a unique way to phrase things. It was so realistic. And also, at one of the last scenes where the father and the son are talking, that speech that the father
monologue.
gives, that
Yeah.
was
Wait,
so
was he nominated
beautiful.
for a supporting actor?
He
No.
should have
That
No.
ticks me
Snub.
off.
Snub.
Big
Such
snub.
a
No,
snub.
big,
Such a
big,
snub.
big,
That was
big snub.
phenomenal.
Huge snub.
And so that
I
script
thought
for
he was
me,
gonna win.
yeah. But see, that's why this script for me, this adapted screenplay, absolutely has to win for Call Me by Your Name because that is the most, like, it was so real. I was intruding on these people's personal lives, and like, there's nothing that has been that real for me that I have like not experienced, but also connected with in such a deep way.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
Like you said, it grabbed you. It grabbed you in places that would most
could go.
would most usually make you feel uncomfortable when you're in a theater of like 100 or so other people.
And it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with that being said, yeah, like you said, it's a very beautiful movie that really like dove into like the characters.
It tapped into such raw, natural states
Yes.
you
Yeah.
didn't know you could tap into. I want to circle back. Earlier, I did say that Molly's Game should win the Oscar.
Yes.
After reflection,
After did I convince you?
I will say Olivia has made me realize that while Molly's Game grabbed me in a way that Call Me by Your Name didn't, Call Me by Your Name grabbed me in a way that Molly's Game
Consistently.
didn't, and it grabbed me and it held me consistently the whole
Yes.
time. And I guess that does make it overall better.
And the fact that it was able to be real and to connect with you, but you weren't hearing the same stereotypical lines that you hear all the time in other movies. You're hearing unique dialogue that's unique enough that you're not bored by it because you've heard it so many times, and that you're still able to connect. I don't know where I
Well,
was
it's
going
just
with
so
this.
Hold
different
on,
because
I
Call
thought it
Me
was
by
going to
Your
be a Nicholas Sparks movie. When we first went to go see it, I had such low expectations for it.
Well, see, Call Me by Your Name had the sort of dialogue that was refreshing because you forget you're watching a movie.
Exactly.
You think you're just experiencing these
intruding.
people's lives. Like you're intruding.
Molly's Game
I
is so
shouldn't get to see
heightened.
this. Yes, but
But see, it
Molly's Game
embraces that.
is so different because the dialogue is an art form and Sorkin just like paints the screen with all of this
There's
language.
also like something else that he did. That I think he does like. I'm like, if anyone hasn't figured out, I'm like such a huge Aaron Sorkin fan. I've seen so many of his things, and like as a person who's a fan of his, seeing this movie was weird because I just it was more like people talking rapid fire, and I love that. But at the same time, he does all these tropes that like I have noticed throughout his work, and that
He is a tropey guy.
And like one of the there are like all these videos of like it's called Sorkinisms, where you see like all the kind of repeated recycled lines he's had throughout all of his works, and that's like a thing I noticed a few of his lines being repeated in this movie. And also he always does this thing, especially in the newsroom, where he'll like reference like, oh man, this event it's kind of just like Rudy or some other movie or whatever or some story or like Don Quixote, and then throughout the movie you just kind of reference, and then at the end you kind of see like, oh, this moment, and you see how like the entire story of that episode or of that movie or whatever kind of parallels whatever literary work or whatever movie he referenced. And that to me feels cheap. It's like, okay, so you just rewrote Don Quixote, but like in the context of a newsroom, or oh, you just rewrote what X thing that I'm not going to spoil, but in the context of this lady who had a gambling thing. Like, and I was like, okay, it felt a bit cheap, but like I don't care because I just loved it so much. I'm such a fanboy.
I'm gonna say, I love Aaron Sorkin. You know how much I love Aaron Sorkin. Social Network is one of my favorite movies of all time. If the script falls off in the last bit, then it's gotta go to Call Me by Your Name, because if it falls off, it falls off, and Call Me by Your Name is a better script.
It's true, but
Just
I hate
saying.
to say it because you guys have got to see Molly's Game
Yeah.
for the first 10
I'm not
minutes.
saying I don't want to see it, and
Yeah,
I'm not
this is
saying
not
it wasn't
discrediting it
great.
as
But the
a.
script that's some of the best dialogue.
No, I'm
See-
admitting, by the way, that like my wanting it to win is from fanboyness. Like I can't really deny that.
Well, also, I think what's very important, too, are the actors that you have in these films. Because Aaron Sorkin in Molly's Game, he has Jessica Chastain, who we all know. Like, she's
Ooh, Call Me by Your Name had better performances.
No.
By
Well,
easy,
see, this
hands
is what
down.
I'm saying, okay? So, the actors have their scripts to work off of. And so for Aaron Sorkin, he has to really work and train with his actors to make sure that they master his sort of style of dialogue. 'Cause
He's
it's
very
very
specific.
quick.
You can't change like a there to there. He's like
Yes.
very literal translate.
Exactly. And so for him, like his script, like you very much have to rely on the script as an actor for his films. And so there is no way to make up for it. Like if it's a lacking script, you're going to see it on screen because it's exactly how he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
With Call Me by Your Name, that script was written so well that the actors were able to interpret it and make it so real and make it so personal that the performances really stand out. That like I think this film just in general is better, and I think the script is one reason why, because it's the foundation that they work off from and are able to do these magnificent performances. And you don't have well-known people. Timothée Chalamet, like he was not very well known
Armie
beforehand.
Hammer was a pretty big name.
Well, Armie Hammer was, but he's
he's
never
the
hit.
biggest name, and he's not even like
He's not a hit
that
actor.
big.
Yeah.
No.
And so like, but you have these lower known people or like unknown
Michael
people.
Stuhlbarg, the guy who the dad.
Yeah. And so like, and it makes them household names. It makes them
Mm-hmm.
into the spotlight because they're able to have this wonderful script that they were able to come into contact with, and they really make it a magnificent performance because of the words that were written.
And I will say something about Aaron Sorkin's script. It's like what he said, like about how the dialogue was so real and stuff that they just kind of like blended into it or like sort of like wore it. With Sorkin's, it's such like a heightened thing, and it's so like it's not very conversational at all, and it's so heightened that you really have to be of a certain caliber of actor to like really get it right. Which is why I mean, like in some movies, like most of his stuff, the casting is so great and the actors are so like for it that they really just master it. Like Jeff Daniels is in particular just mastered Sorkin's dialogue. In this movie, Molly's Game, the actors weren't bad by any means, but like Idris Elba, for example, there's like one monologue that he has like in the third act of the movie that I was like, oh, I felt how they edited around several takes of this, and I don't blame him because it's a very like hard like you should be. You should be a theater actor to do the thing, and he's not a theater actor. I'm pretty sure he's like just
He's
straight up-
in that movie.
What? Yeah.
Malls.
You
I'll
didn't
be
see it?
there.
Yeah. But like, and he's a good actor, but like, I don't think he's used to having to really commit to memorization or anything to the level of a Sorkin script. So like,
Yeah.
and so I just in general, the performances like weren't as strong, and like it's one of those things where the script sort of like overpowered the actors. So that is one of his like downsides of like one of his some of his movies sometimes.
The last thing that I'm going to say, though, kind of going off of that, is that some of the scenes written in Call Me by Your Name are very awkward, and like the whole theater kind of like shrugged and like, oh no, and
I mean, at least part of that just because of the age gap between the two characters.
yes, but also the content of what was happening, but they were able to make it so that it wasn't an awkward experience. Like you felt the awkwardness that the characters were feeling, but it wasn't like an awkward at them. It was an
So
awkward with
sweet.
them, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
And so I think overall,
Sweet as a
this
peach.
script just wins for me. Like this film just wins for me. Wait, what did he say?
He said nothing. Let's not worry about it.
I'll
Spoiler.
listen to it later.
So
I
animated
just
short.
gotta
Have
finish.
any of us seen any of these animated shorts?
I have heard good things about Dear Basketball, but I have not seen it.
Me either.
I love that Kobe Bryant is the tallest person nominated for an Academy Award.
Is
Is
that
that
a
a
fact?
legit thing?
Probably he's Kobe Bryant. And he's nominated for an Academy
How
Award.
tall is Kobe Bryant?
I'm assuming like 6'5"
Chewbacca.
at least.
The guy that played Chewbacca.
Is how tall.
Like
I don't know, but he's taller.
But he was
Was
not
he
nominated
nominated for an
for
Star
Oscar?
Wars
anything.
was nominated
But he
and
was
it has
not.
won.
But he was
so,
not.
but whatever.
Does Star Wars have a best ensemble cast category?
Servo's face is so serious right
No.
now.
I was just asking. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess that means we're moving on to animated feature, which this is my biggest frustration
Oh,
in
it was
all
intentional.
of these noms. Where is Batman?
Honestly.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a huge one actually.
Well,
Like,
It happened in
it happened in
2014
2014 too.
Yeah.
Lego Batman not only should be nominated,
It should
dare
win.
I say,
it should.
it should win. Coco, okay, and great. I haven't seen Loving Vincent, and I heard that that's some tough competition. But Coco was beautiful.
Win. Who said Ferdinand was bad? Didn't we hear that was bad? Who said that?
That is
Okay,
where
because Lego
Friends
Batman
are family.
should be. Yeah, no, Lego Batman.
Lego,
There's no
yeah.
excuse, honestly.
I haven't seen it.
Like if Ninjago would have been nominated
Oh my
and like
gosh.
not Lego Batman, I would have boycotted the.
Here's the thing.
I
I,
would
there's
never
no-
watch
no,
again.
There's no
and
rhyme or
here's the thing,
reason.
it's like they always mess it up, and it's so frustrating.
Wait, but
because,
you
like,
guys have seen The Boss Baby, so like what?
Okay,
here's the
honestly,
thing.
it's not
Boss
that
Baby,
bad.
Not a bad movie.
I don't know why everybody
It's not
rags
great.
on it
It's
so
not
much.
amazing, but it's. I was surprised. I enjoyed myself way more than I thought I was going to.
Absolutely.
Alec
Same.
Baldwin
Is
was
it
actually
possible
a really
it's
great
because we were
performance.
enjoying a glass of Chardonnay while we were watching it? Maybe.
Yes, but also no. The animation, especially in the beginning,
Came
is
with
like
the
at
ticket.
times so like inventive and like fun to watch and like really colorful and
Oh,
creative.
actually, yes, I forgot about that. The editing and the animation is way different than a lot of what we've seen before. I mean, they kind of go a different direction with it, and I gotta admit, while the story's not phenomenal and it's pretty, your run of the mill, the way that
It's
they
far
told
from bad.
the way that they told the story was really great.
Is
Yeah.
this DreamWorks? Is this a DreamWorks?
It is DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that movie was kind of a meme, so I was
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah.
to see it on
People
here.
love to rag
No.
on it, but honestly, it's not
And here's
bad.
the
I mean, I
animated
never
feature-
saw it. I
Here's
just
the animated features that they will all, like the Academy is like so lazy because it's like kids movie. I don't know what's like the top 5 like Pixar and DreamWorks movies that came out this year or whatever, which is so annoying and like so frustrating.
I don't think they always do that.
They,
I mean, Loving Vincent's on here.
I mean, not
Lego
every but I'm
Batman made a ton of money.
Lego Batman didn't like, and like last year Lego movie, and then like I remember like one year the Croods got nominated, and it was like who saw the Croods?
Oh,
Yeah.
How can you nominate the Croods and you're not going to nominate either of the Lego movies?
Which are such.
Wait a
like,
minute.
I've-
Lego movie got nominated.
No, it
No,
did
it
not.
It didn't?
It
was
did
not.
not.
Well, and it was annoying because
There
that year was
is
like
no
that year
way.
had great animation. I remember How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out.
Good movie.
Big Hero 6 came out that year.
Big Hero 6 is
Decent
just a
movie.
reinvention of the Iron Giant. Can we all just
The
say it?
animation was great,
Based
and
on
on
a
top of
Marvel
that,
comic book,
Baymax
did not
was
know that.
amazing.
But
Yeah.
the story was like copy paste.
Sure, but
To an
Baymax.
extent.
With some extra characters.
Yeah.
How to get a
Realistically, though, who do we think
feature.
this is going to go to?
Coco.
Coco.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're getting up to some of the bigger ones.
These are the big boys.
Director.
Who?
What are the options?
We've got Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan. Get Out, Jordan Peele. Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig. Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson. And The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro.
I'm
This
doing
is-
Get Out or Lady Bird.
This is weird because like all of these directors are people who I've enjoyed all of their work in the past.
Right.
Like every usually once a year there's like a person who's
Have
like,
you
oh,
seen a
I'm not, I
Guillermo
don't
del
really
Toro
know.
movie?
I didn't like Crimson Peaks that much.
I don't know that I've seen a Guillermo del Toro movie.
I usually I like I wouldn't say I'm a Nolan fanboy, but I've been a consistent fan of all the stuff that he's done.
Can he do wrong? No.
Yeah, because he did Dunkirk, which was not bad, but very. It was so weird because I was like,
We're just gonna cut Surafel
on
out.
one level, I was like, wow, like so much money went into this, and like there was.
And it worked so well.
I mean, on a technical, here's the thing, on a technical level, on so many technical levels, I was like, wow, like this is so great, but like I just felt like it never like came to be more than the sum of its parts. So I was just like, whatever.
You're a hater because everyone loved it.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. Yeah, Which is why, like, I was just talking so much smack about Baby Driver, which is such an unpopular movie.
Well, see,
I finally got to see it because honestly, for the longest time, not the longest time, but for a good few years, Christopher Nolan was hands down my favorite director.
Same.
That's fair.
Hands down. I mean, because sometime in like the mid 2000s, he was like shining.
Yeah.
Honest to
For
God,
a
though, I
long
think
time.
Memento is still his best movie, in my
Ooh,
opinion.
that's tough.
I haven't seen that one.
This is an
yet.
unpopular opinion, but I'm so in love with
Prestige?
Interstellar.
Oh.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
That's my least.
I know,
Actually,
I
no,
said
it
it's
was
unpopular.
Interstellar. Now it's Dunkirk. Before that was Interstellar. It's my least favorite
I love
Nolan movie.
Interstellar.
Mine is Insomnia.
Batman Begins.
Dark Knight.
As your least
Oh my
favorite?
No,
God.
oh no, I said favorite.
Oh, okay. That's my favorite.
I
as
said
well.
it's one of my favorites.
Mine
Oh,
is-
okay. I
I think
thought.
mine's with the Prestige, probably.
I think mine might be.
Did I say
Interstellar.
least favorite earlier? Did y'all think I was saying that
I think we
Interstellar
were
is my
talking
least
about
favorite?
least favorite.
No, I
for
thought you
this
said it was like your
second.
favorite.
Yeah, Interstellar is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Knight's one of my favorites.
Just
I agree
yeah,
with
just because
that.
I'm a comic book fanboy, like Dark
Well, there's
Knight
so
will-
much about Dark Knight you just gotta love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Comic
yeah.
I'm not
like-
even
Well,
a
see,
huge. Yeah, I'm not a huge.
It's the only superhero
DC
movie that I've
fan.
ever thoroughly enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Me too.
Well,
See-
those three. I like all three of them.
Batman
Because-
Begins is definitely my least favorite.
I mean, of the trilogy, sure, but
Also, his movies in general. Olivia, go ahead.
Okay. Dunkirk was a phenomenal movie. We all love Christopher Nolan for different reasons, or we like different films of his. But he did a wonderful job. But I think Get Out and Lady Bird are two that just stand out to me, and they're directorial debuts for both of these, for Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig. And I think they both do such a wonderful job
Greta Gerwig
making me.
directed Frances Ha.
No, that was Noah Baumbach.
Oh! Why do I keep confusing him?
She wrote
'cause
and
it's so
she wrote and
confusing.
started it.
Yeah. But I think they both did such a wonderful job of making it just a very immersive experience, and like one that I'm just like, wow, like with Jordan Peele's, like I have not experienced this, but I was terrified, and I was just like, oh my goodness gracious. And then with Lady Bird, like I felt those same things, and they're both wonderful, and so I don't know which one I want to win, but I want one of those to win because they're both so worthy of it, because the acting in it is phenomenal, and I don't think it could have been that great unless it had such a great director.
Yeah, I'm with
Ooh.
you, Olivia.
I want
It's
to talk
down
something
to
you
the two
said,
of
but
them
after
for me
actually
as
calls
well.
because
What'd you say?
I said, I'm with you, Olivia. I'm down to Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig too. I mean, I would be equally as happy if either one of them won.
Right.
I don't think either of them are gonna win.
I don't think so either. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna go to Guillermo.
Me
Probably.
You think?
too. Yeah.
Really?
Shape of Water is
Yeah.
getting so much
Shape of
buzz.
Yeah,
Water.
and
is
he's won
gonna-
everything that he's been in for.
I
Didn't he
saw
win
this.
the Golden Globe?
He did.
He did win the Golden
That's not what
Globe.
I
He
wanted
did.
to say though.
Oh, what?
Yes.
The real winner is not on the list because they did not nominate Denis Villeneuve, and that
Yeah.
is just look. The man.
I
It was-
love Dennis.
I feel like it was under, like,
I saw
It was
that.
underseen in general.
yeah, it was
Well,
under, it was under
I
discussed.
think a lot of people didn't like the first one, and that's why.
Lies.
I
That is
don't-
the
Okay.
first one's one of the most popular sci-fi movies of all time.
It's regarded as a
Well, see,
classic, but
it
going
is.
back, like
Going back, nobody
it's
watched
a
it.
Everyone-
slow.
It's
Yeah.
so
Everyone
slow.
that I've ever talked to about that movie have not liked it.
Yeah, everybody now, but back then, well, not when it first came out, but after all the different versions
There's a
came
good
out.
middle ground.
There is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good, there,
Yeah.
no, for real, there is a middle ground for that movie that it became this huge classic that it is. And honestly, I think that 2049 is better, and I think that is because of Denis Villeneuve.
I don't think it is in the same. Okay, I loved Blade Runner 2049. I think he did a wonderful job, but I think that Greta Gerwig and Jordan Peele deserved the award for directing more
Actually-
because they did a better job.
Yeah, I gotta say, if
He
if
didn't
you,
even get nominated.
Ashley, if you saw Lady
he
Bird,
didn't do a
I
good
really
job.
think that you would think that it would be better.
What did you just say, Brandon?
I haven't seen. I was just saying that.
I've seen it and I agree with him. Like I really do.
Yeah, so
You're
take
gonna
him
hurt
off.
me, aren't you?
He didn't do a good job.
No, he did a great job. He did
just
a really
didn't
good
do
job, but he was not in the
Oscar-worthy
same
job.
field as they were. He's not up in
Ashley,
their
if
category.
you see Lady Bird, it's gonna change your life. and
I
you're
would
gonna-
I would kick. I haven't seen Lady Bird. I would kick Jordan Peele out for Denis Villeneuve.
Oh.
No.
That's weird.
Over really?
No.
Yes,
You've
hands
seen
down.
Dunkirk too, and you think that Dunkirk's a better directing job than Get Out?
I would kick Christopher Nolan out, and then I would
Okay,
kick.
I was about to say.
I forgot about.
haven't
I
seen
forgot.
Dunkirk,
It's
but
it's highlighted, so I forgot
I'm kind
about
of
it.
annoyed because like Out of the 5, I only really liked one. I've seen 2, but I only really liked one. So I wish I had seen
What's the one?
Phantom Thread.
Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah.
I wish I had seen Shape of Water or Lady Bird or Phantom Thread because...
Yeah.
I'm
also
gonna
need
see
to-
them before the Oscars come on, but I just didn't
Yeah,
have time to
same.
watch
Let me know and I'll go
today.
with
Ooh,
you.
supporting actress. I mean, I think we all are going to agree on...
Allison Janney.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But
Yeah.
who are the
Brady,
others?
Brady says Laurie Metcalf.
Oh, she
Oh,
was
yes,
fantastic.
she
but,
was.
But Allison Janney.
Okay,
Yeah.
so supporting actress, Brendan.
Mary J. Bliggy, Allison,
You're annoying.
Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf, who's playing videos?
I wasn't playing videos.
I heard that.
I heard it too.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who it was.
For
It
Lady
wasn't
Bird,
me.
and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water.
Lady Bird and Laurie Metcalf and Allison Janney are both phenomenal. I do think perhaps I'm leaning more towards Allison Janney. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because she made me laugh and I kind of hated her at the same time.
I
don't
know why.
But I really also appreciate Laurie Metcalf's because it really does connect you with her role as a mother and like as a woman and a person.
Allison Janney, because I remember, like, that role is, like, so perfect for Allison Janney.
It
And,
really
like,
is.
And I almost don't want her to win because of, like, how often she wins Emmys. Like, she has, like, 1,000 Emmys. Like, just for...
Does
her
she have an
work.
Oscar, though?
No. I mean,
No.
like, yeah, I'm being a bit hyperbolic right now. But I'm saying it's like I almost kind of like want someone who doesn't win awards so much just to like win something. But at the same time,
Well, if you're worthy of
she's
it, you're
so
worthy of it.
great. But yeah, she's just she's like so. But I haven't seen Mudbound or Lady Bird or
I haven't
Phantom
seen
Thread
anything
or
else.
that. Can we just name this episode? I haven't seen this, but
But here's what I think
But
about
here's our
it.
opinion on it.
yeah.
Honestly, though, Laurie Metcalf is phenomenal. But it's harder to make me believe in you if you're playing a bad guy.
It's hard to love someone when
So-
you hate them.
Exactly. Allison Janney, I feel
That's
like
deep.
she's so convincing she does such a great job in this movie because it's so hard to make me really, really hate someone. It's
Yeah.
easier to make me love someone. And
And
I
you
mean,
hate
you
her.
hate her.
Yeah.
She's just pure friggin'
Evil.
evil. Like, and sometimes senselessly, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, my thing is for Laurie Metcalf is like, okay, I prefer. It bothers me when an actor is supposed to cry and I don't see an actual tear. And I know that's minor. I know that is really stupid, but it really bothers me because
No,
I'm
that's fair.
disconnected to it. But Laurie Metcalf, she cries and it's so emotional and I feel it and I cry with her.
So it must be like going like big for Daniel Kaluuya with those.
I was about to
big,
say,
Yeah.
the
like,
waterfall man.
raindrop tears.
Like,
that are,
I thought it was phenomenal. I love his performance so much. And like, I don't know. If you can really get in touch with your emotions and like really put them all out there for me, then it's okay. And I think Laurie Metcalf might have had to show more emotion than Allison Janney did because Allison Janney, she was just mean. She was just horrible. And like there were other emotions, but Laurie Metcalf, she's happy, she's sad, she's
See,
angry. She
I
goes
My
through a lot
mom
more.
saying about J.K. Simmons and how she didn't like his performance because like anyone can be like angry all the time, and I was like, nay, I say like
No.
No, it is hard, but I think it's also hard to cry.
I
She
disagree.
brings a special malice to that character.
I agree.
She does.
I think the emotion's there, but it's far more complex. I think it's harder to deliver because the way that she does it is all just in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are moments where you see her instantly regretting something she's done, but you see the pride on her face at the
Where she
same,
won't,
same
yeah.
time that you see the regret, and that's something that's so hard to pull off.
Very
you know, I mean,
true.
Laurie Metcalf cries, and it's I'm simplifying it. She's phenomenal, but what I'm saying is you feel Laurie Metcalf having one emotion, but we see Allison Janney
Having 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because like with Allison
And
Janney,
yet
it's like,
wearing just
That one face.
that role with her is like so
Expression.
weird because it's her being just a very insufferable person. But like it's one of those roles where people are like transforming into a different person.
Yeah, Allison.
She's not doing that. She's kind of being herself.
I disagree.
But, or not being. I'm not saying she's a horrible person, but I'm saying
I
like.
mean, she's a sweetheart in all of her.
But what I mean is like a lot of the roles that she does is kind of like similar roles, but she just chews up scenery in a way that's really fun to watch.
Either way, I'll be happy with either one of these winning.
Allison Janney, I'm like, these are all based off of interviews that the actual filmmakers did with the real people.
Right.
So she sat down and she looked at this real woman, and if you go and you watch her interviews, like she
that is her.
became this woman. She
Really?
did transform into someone else.
Watching that, I just remember feeling like this is Allison Janney, and I'm loving it.
Well, either way, I think they both did a phenomenal job, and I will be happy with either one of these women winning. I don't want anyone else to win because I think these two are just like stand out. I mean, like, I haven't seen all of them. So
I haven't seen
but
Phantom
still.
Thread.
Oh, by the way, actually, what you said reminded me actually about something with Jordan Peele. I think it was Allison Williams that was like listening to a podcast interview,
I love
and
her.
she was talking about like how being directed by Jordan Peele was great, like in certain moments where like they were like doing a lot of takes for something, and they're supposed to be like laughing at a moment, and you know like the first few times there's something like how the first few times you do it, the first few takes of like laughter, it can like feel organic, but after like laughing for the 20th time in a row, it's like ha 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 ha. You're just kind of like not really doing much.
Mm-hmm.
So like Jordan Peele apparently he would like do like his Obama voice from the Key and Peele sketches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, now Daniel, I need you to do it, and like you just like do that, and like having them like actually laugh, and like getting them to like actually be like kind of like, and then like the laughs would like show again, like be real and authentic, like on camera. But until he'd be serious, but then kind of like bring it back, and then he'd like having them laugh and just like get back in his director role.
See,
And I was
that's
like,
why
When
it
did they
pays
laugh
to be
in
a
that
comedian.
movie?
There's been a couple
like at a
times.
dinner dinner
there
thing, they
were
were like
moments.
kind of like yeah.
So it's the equivalent of jingling keys in front of kids, only for adult
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
And then there's also other stuff like all the stuff I was seeing on Twitter as far as like the detail in the movie that I just didn't like Georgina, when Georgina is like talking in front of she's looking in the window or in the mirror, and she's still looking at her reflection, and she's kind of like going like, oh, like let me just check up and make sure that my hairline or whatever is fine, but in reality she's making sure that the lobotomy scar isn't there from the thing. And then if you look at it, every single person has some kind of hat or has some kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I love it. Like, it's great.
I too watched that Facebook video. To the next category, we have Best Supporting Actor. We have Willem Dafoe for The Florida Project, Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards, Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, and Sam Rockwell for 3 Billboards.
Well, this is gonna be easy.
I'm so happy that Sam Rockwell is nominated for an Oscar. Okay, and that's all I can say because I've seen none of these
I was
movies.
gonna say I have not seen a single one.
Wait,
of
what
these
are they?
movies.
Nor have I.
Yeah, same. That's dang.
I do enjoy me some
I
Woody
too.
Harrelson, though.
Yeah, I do like Woody Harrelson a lot.
Sam Rockwell. I want Sam Rockwell to have an Oscar. I've wanted him to have an Oscar for so long. I love him so much. He's such an amazing actor. I'm so happy.
Is Christopher Plummer, does he play the monster
I was
in...
gonna say All the Money in the World did not.
Wait,
look good.
Christopher-
What are y'all
Oh, wait,
talking
wrong
about?
one.
Yeah.
Richard
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
No, he's like the boss employee, or maybe he's the neighbor.
I thought that was like Michael Shannon.
No, he's like the neighbor kind of dude. Like
Or-
he's like, or no, he's the father. He's her father, isn't he? I think he's her father. The deaf,
I have no idea.
the deaf
been a
girl
hot minute
is
since
her
I've seen
father,
the
or maybe
trailer.
she's mute. She's mute, isn't she? She
I haven't
doesn't hear,
even
she's
seen the
mute.
trailer.
He's related to her in some way. They live together or something. But I think he will do a good job because I've seen him in like a sort of similar, from what I've seen from the trailer, a similar role in like being like a father figure kind of. So I think he will do a good job. But I really love all of these actors. I think they're all phenomenal. And because I haven't seen all of these films, I don't know which one I would choose. But I think I'll be happy no matter what because they all deserve it because they're phenomenal.
Very true.
Sam Rockwell.
Well, we know where Ashton stands.
All right, well, we are into the big 3 now. So we are at lead actress.
God, this is hard.
We have Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. How do you pronounce Lady?
Saoirse.
Saoirse
Saoirse.
Ronan.
Sosa.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was saying it wrong.
Wait, hold on.
No, Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
Seashells.
Sorsha?
By the seashore.
Okay, now I don't
Saoirse.
know.
Wait, hold on.
Saoirse Ronan.
And
Saoirse. Saoirse?
Oh my
Saoirse.
God.
Sorry.
welcome to the Saoirse podcast.
The Saoirse cast.
And Meryl Streep for The Post.
Meryl Streep, she does a good job in The Post. She really does. But Meryl Streep is known for being a good actress. But in this role, I think it was more difficult for her because of who she was playing, the role that she was having to play. And she does a good job, but she's not on Saoirse Ronan's level or on Margot Robbie's level. I think they both were more phenomenal than she was.
The sentence Meryl Streep is not on Margot Robbie's level is not something I ever thought I would hear.
Welcome to 2018.
Anything is possible.
Changing the game. You know, I gotta say though, I haven't seen The Post yet. I'm seeing this Saturday, so we'll see.
Especially in the movies.
My thoughts on lead actress. Saoirse is her name?
Saoirse.
She is phenomenal,
Mustard.
and she's very, very relatable.
But not on Margot
Ooh.
Robbie's level.
But I don't know that she's as believable as Margot Robbie was. Because there's a moment in I, Tonya, for those of you who haven't seen it, go watch it and look for the moment that I'm talking about, where she's looking at herself in the mirror before she steps out to perform. and it's 30 seconds of this one shot.
I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
She is Tanya Harding.
She
Yeah.
is.
In that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to see Margot Robbie. and
She
I
doesn't
can't.
Yeah.
look like herself.
She doesn't.
She has
look
that
like her.
crazy in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like she really is Tanya
I
Harding.
almost feel like Margot
Absolutely.
Robbie just kind of had that. Honestly.
No, not at all. I don't think
She was
so.
crazier
No,
in I,
watching-
Tonya than she was
watching-
as Harley Quinn.
It's
I will
rare
say.
that I find.
That's saying
I
something.
love finding
Yo,
moments
honestly?
where.
Sorry, David Ayer.
I love finding moments where actors or actresses just fully. You're seeing them just be that character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, go watch Nightcrawler.
Getting
He should have
lost
been
in it.
nominated.
That's what I looked for the entire time through Disaster Artist. I'm like, when am I going to see
Yeah,
James Franco?
Yeah,
But
and I
it
didn't.
was phenomenal.
So your vote is Margot Robbie.
I gotta say Margot.
I would go with Margot Robbie.
Same.
Mainly
I-
because it's the only movie on the list.
Well, I agree with that too, but also I will not be upset if Saoirse Ronan wins it, which I mean I don't think she will. I think Margot Robbie does do a better job to an extent, but either one of those I would be fine.
Lead actor?
Oh, I have an answer.
Okay, I have a list that I.
So we've got Timmy Chalamet.
Timmy?
Call Me by Your
Yes.
Name. He prefers to go by Timmy, so
For real?
yeah, he and I are tight
Not
like
the
that.
Marty.
He's not from France.
He's not.
He's not.
No,
He's
he's
American.
born in New
He's from
York.
New York. He like lives
But
in
he-
Brooklyn.
I thought-
His
What
mom-
kind of
his
pretentious
mom is French,
parents
he
does
speaks French.
he have?
His
I
mom
knew
is
like one of
French.
his parents was
Yeah, his
French.
mom
Okay.
is French.
Yes.
Man, I'm still.
Okay, well then that's why
His
his
name is
name was that
Timothy
makes
E.
sense.
So yeah, it's definitely French.
So we've got Timmy Chalamet for Call Me by Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, and Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel.
It's
Esquire.
Kaluuya. Kahlua is a kind of alcohol.
Yes.
I either want Daniel or Timothy
Both
to
are
win, or
tasty.
Timmy. I guess it's one.
Okay, but
I
let's
agree.
be real.
They're gonna give it to
Daniel
They're
Day-Lewis.
going to, but I
You're
don't.
so
And see, I
funny.
haven't seen Phantom Thread yet, but all I
Don't.
know is Timmy and Daniel are phenomenal, and they take that category for me. Daniel Day-Lewis,
Which
I'm
Daniel?
sure. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The I can't say his last name. Daniel
Kaluuya?
Kaluuya.
Kaluuya.
It's the how it's
Kaluuya. Okay,
spelled.
so
I can never like discredit like Daniel Day-Lewis. Like even if I haven't seen his movie, like there's a very good chance he's like
He's gonna
high in the
win.
I mean, he
running.
is a good actor.
Yeah, he
but
could
I haven't
be doing.
seen
A
him.
He
good
is-
actor. He's like the good actor. He's
Yes.
He's not the.
Daniel
Really?
Kaluuya.
He's kind of
I
the
don't
pinnacle
think
of what
so.
every actor.
wants to be.
He's very
Yeah.
specific with what he picks, and every time he picks a movie to work
Like
on,
less than
it's
10,
always
right?
an amazing
It's
movie.
amazing. Yeah.
Lincoln was okay. He was
I
great.
agree.
I
Lincoln was okay.
disagree.
I fell
love
asleep
Lincoln.
in Lincoln, and I
love-
don't usually fall
I
asleep
loved
in movies.
Lincoln.
But his performance was really good, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
But the movie as a whole, biopic.
So, for me, Timmy conveys such emotional distress that is so relatable as a young person coming of age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Armie Hammer nominated for y'all. This
Yeah,
was-
why wasn't he, honestly?
Oh, yeah,
He's a
where is
snub,
Armie?
too.
Yeah,
Where's
that
Armie
is a
Hammer's
snub.
nom?
He's
You could argue he could be another leading, but oh no, he's
No,
No,
he's
he's
definitely
supporting.
supporting.
Yeah.
supporting.
Supporting all the way. But, honestly, probably my favorite supporting.
Yeah.
Let me check this out.
Yeah,
Armie
for me-
Hammer
for me
and
it's
Sebastian
Spielberg.
Stan are both my favorite
For me,
supporting,
it's
but they're not
Spielberg is my
nominated.
favorite.
Oh, and yep.
Actually,
too.
Sebastian Stan is. It's tight. They're all really good. It's
Yeah.
kinda,
None
it's
of them
hard.
were nommed anyways, so, I mean, we haven't seen them, so.
That's
I'm
why
gonna say
Sam
Spielberg just
Rockwell.
because I love him so much in Steve Jobs. Another circle flick. I'm just gonna plug
Okay,
right there.
but having what I said about Timmy, on the other hand, there's Daniel Kaluuya, and
Right.
You feel his fear.
his fear is so.
It radiates throughout the movie, and it comes off the screen and into you. Like you are terrified just as much, not maybe just as much as
Oh,
he is,
yeah.
but you are terrified with him.
And
He's
it's
so
realistic.
good.
This is in part thanks to Jordan Peele's directing, but also
Not
his
just fear. It's
terror.
just this sense of like discomfort.
That
Yeah.
whole like
Yes.
Like,
hypnotist
not just, like, when he's
scene,
scared.
like just
Yes.
the gradual like decline of.
And
like,
also the way that he's
So, like,
able
when
to
he's like out
shed
and just talking to
tears.
everyone,
Oh, wait.
and everyone's like, "Oh my god, like, is it true or?"
no, when he's just talking to like the mother while
With
he's
the
like in the
tea?
armchair with like the tea and
Oh,
stuff. Like he starts out so confident, like just how anyone else would be like, yeah, I don't believe this hypnotist bull crap.
Yeah, yeah.
And just
yeah.
like you can start to see like as he starts to realize like how it's taking effect on him, like it's not like a sudden like change, but you can see how it grows.
Oh yeah.
And as it grows, so do the tears.
See, I love this new wave of horror that we're entering. I feel like for the longest time it was just like jump scare, scream, be
They're getting
terrified
so
and let
much
that be
better.
the
The
only feeling
2010s
that
are
you
honestly
feel.
like, I don't know if like a Renaissance is like
Yeah, I mean the
appropriate enough,
Babadook.
but, like,
I've heard Mother.
Babadook, It Comes at Night, It Follows,
Yeah.
The Witch. Like,
They're also
so
complex
many.
now. They're realizing that there's more to fear than just
Then something
being
going boop.
scared.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's a process.
I
They
would say
realize
that
psychological.
A24
It's the sense of dread that I think like a lot of horror movies like don't even like
Need
try to
and
go
need.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I would say that A24 popularized that.
Absolutely,
Oh,
A24.
Olivia's had her hand up for a minute.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So what I was gonna say is like going back to Daniel Kaluuya.
Kaluuya.
It's not that hard to say.
I am not used
Just say it like there's two U's. Kaluuya.
to Kaluuya. Okay. So I think one thing about his performances, like the fact that he's able to paralyze his face, like his face does not move, yet you have these ginormous tears come out of his eyes and onto his face, and you are just like witnessing that.
Remember
And
in Forrest Gump when he was like, we had all kinds of rain, like sideways rain, and like, and he was like, big old fat rain. I'm like, that's Daniel Kaluuya's eyes. It's big old fat rain coming
like-
right down his face.
it is so beautiful and mesmerizing, and you're just like, damn, like.
For me, it was like, you also know, like the discomfort like of horror, like watching that scene like in which Daniel Kaluuya's character Chris is talking to a bunch of people, and like they're all saying things that are like kind of weird and sort of just kind of like low key racist, and like he's sort of like not sure how to respond like in this crowd. He's kind of like, he's just like being like really awkward and stuff. And I remember
Yeah.
being like, whoa, I've never seen that on camera. Like so accurate. Like it was such as like a weird kind of like discomfort that is like almost laughing at it because it's so uncomfortable. I don't know, it's just I remember seeing that and being like, oh,
Which
damn,
is like
Danny.
so common in like
Damn, Daniel.
everyday life, but like yeah,
Sorry,
like
man.
you said, like no one like was able to
Man, it was-
capture that.
And
in
part of that is
film.
probably because
Right.
Jordan Peele was directing it. He's experienced, he knows how to make it real, and Daniel's experienced, so he knows how to make it real and put it on screen. And no, you haven't seen that on screen, so it's important to have that represented on screen.
So, nominees for Best Picture, we have Boss Baby, JK, Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards.
Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah,
I haven't
probably.
seen so many of
Yeah,
these.
same.
Yeah, that's
same,
the thing.
no.
Like I haven't
Right.
seen so many, but I know Dunkirk, Darkest Hour, and The Post are not. I don't believe that those are
Same.
the best. I think that
Yeah.
Call Me by Your Name, Phantom Thread, 3 Billboards, and Shape of Water are all phenomenal. And I think I need to see the rest of those because I haven't seen all of those. But what I have seen,
Wait, you've seen The Shape of Water?
I have not.
Oh.
No.
I was like, what?
But I have seen Get Out. I've seen Lady Bird. I've seen Call Me by Your Name, and they are phenomenal. And they are better than Dunkirk and Darkest
I'm gonna
Hour.
predict that it's going to Shape of Water.
Me too.
That's my guess.
That's also my guess.
If
If
not
it-
that,
Picking up
Call Me by
awards
Your
left
Name.
and right.
If we had Call Me By Your Name, I
Oh,
would
I'd be
die.
super
I would be
happy.
so happy
I
if
don't
that
feel
movie
like it's
won.
gonna happen.
I don't think it is at all, but
I'm
I would
honestly
be so
surprised
happy.
it got a nom. I mean,
I'm not.
Really?
I mean, no, it's phenomenal, but it just feels like people aren't talking about it that much.
Yeah,
for
crazy
whatever
people.
Reason.
Well, it just recently
It's
came
not.
out.
It's not
I
like
suppose.
it's
wide
not a
release
general
release.
audience type of
I
film.
suppose.
It
It's
really,
really
isn't.
not.
Which is a lot of these movies that get picked.
Well,
like,
let's talk about this for a second. A lot of people are saying that Baby Driver was snubbed and that
No.
it should have been in this category.
No.
I disagree.
No.
I've only known one like.
I also
You're one
disagree.
person
I
that
changed
said
my
that.
mind on that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did some thinking, and Baby Driver did not deserve to be in the Best Picture category. It is still maybe my favorite.
Cinematography, I think.
does not
Whoa!
does not discredit.
I, Tanya, did not get nominated. Okay, I'm upset. I just realized
I just
that.
noticed that.
I just noticed that.
That's
I,
a
Tanya,
snub.
that's a
I
snub.
These- Tanya should be
this
nominated
year
for
is
Best
honestly
Picture.
like this is some bull.
I
This
think-
is. I'm.
You can probably take out The Post and put in I, Tonya for me.
Well, I haven't seen the Post yet, so I
Me
can't
either.
say. But this is the Oscars, and
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna-
go ahead and tell you they are not gonna touch the Post. The
No,
Post
they're
is
not.
staying right where it
Yeah.
belongs.
Steven Spielberg, Meryl Streep, Tom
I
Hanks.
mean, that is
It's
Oscar
literally
bait
Bridge
if
of
I've ever
Spies
heard
all
Honestly,
it.
you know,
over again.
Yeah.
something about this year that I'm liking a lot is like you're seeing kind of like, oh, maybe not every like you're seeing a bit of a divergence from not everything has to be like these like
There's more
blue
diversity.
toned. Well, I mean like specifically it's like
This
these, like,
gray.
gray and blue like mid 20th century biopics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we're moving away from that.
We
like,
are. We're
Yeah.
I mean, there's a horror film
movie,
here.
exactly.
Yeah, which is really weird.
And
Insane.
The Shape of Water. I mean,
This out of the box freaking
Yeah.
idea that like with like many other directors I don't think would have gotten like the footing it did, but like
Right.
and I'm so super happy that Del Toro's gotten all this credit because like
Me
he
too.
Yeah.
puts like even if you don't like a lot of his movies like but I like Pan's Labyrinth. The Hellboy movies are actually really good.
I've seen the first one and I really liked it.
Yeah, like he just is such a creative dude and he has like these really good ideas and he's like all like these creature designs, like everything is
Yes.
super cool. So like
He's
for a guy
very
that
minute with the details.
for a guy that's like worked as hard as he has, I'm super happy for him.
Me
Yeah.
too. And on this film specifically,
Yeah.
he's like wanted to make for a long time, right?
This was
Yeah.
his passion project of at least like almost a decade.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm very happy. I think it's gonna be Shape of Water. I would be happy. I mean, as happy as I am that Get Out got nominated, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that it's gonna win.
It
Oh,
won't.
no, yeah.
It definitely
I would
won't.
love to see it win, but if I'm gonna pick anything out of this list that I've seen that I would personally want to win, Call Me by Your Name.
So yeah,
I'd die.
let's break it down like that. Let's have everyone pick what we think is going to win and what we want to win.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Call Me by Your Name was my absolute favorite of the year. I think it should win Best Picture. I would not be surprised if Lady Bird won Best Picture, and I would be very happy with that, but I think it's going to go to The Shape of Water.
My favorite, Get Out was my favorite movie of the year. However, it is my favorite movie amongst the ones that were nominated for Best Picture. So for a number of reasons, not least of which being just like it's such an oddball movie, not oddball, but like oddball to have been nominated for an Academy Award. I think it'd be like really, just kind of honestly funny. Like if it won, it's just so like not typical. But I agree with Hetty that I think that it's probably gonna go to Shape of Water.
So I gotta know though, what was your favorite movie of the year then?
It's kind of.
It was Lego Batman, wasn't it?
No.
It was Dunkirk, wasn't it?
I've been lying the whole
it's
time. Downplaying.
I have like a top 5 that I kind of bounce around. Lego Batman's up
too.
there. Lego Batman, Get Out, Big Sick, and then it's hard. It's kind of hard for me to like choose. Baby Driver definitely is one of them. And then my fifth man. Let's see.
Molly's Game.
No, not Molly's Game. Coco.
Out of this list, the one I would definitely want to win is definitely Call Me by Your Name. I think that one was just the best like experience overall.
Yeah.
I want to also say like what they're going to go with is The Shape of Water, but I could also potentially maybe see them throwing it at Phantom Thread.
Me too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be maybe a little disappointed, but not surprised. But yeah, those are my picks.
I don't know who I pick. I just know that I don't want it to be The Post, Dunkirk, or Darkest Hour. I think Lady Bird, Get Out,
Something fresh.
Call Me by Your Name. Yes, I think there are better stories that were told, and I think they're good films. I enjoyed them, but I enjoyed these others more because like it was an experience. It was
It's
real. It was
weird
something
how, like,
different.
They're new.
Literally, just like
Yeah.
the cinematography kind of says it. It's just like it's dreary. It's old. It's not bad, but just like
But it's been done.
It's been
yeah, and
Yeah.
it just it
time and time
feels
again.
old just because of like how they just the color palette, everything.
Yeah.
And
And
then
it's been done before. It's a cookie cutter type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So like they know where they're going. With these other things, they're paving a new way. They're telling a different story. They're doing it differently.
Well,
You have
there's
different
more
directors.
than one story to be told here, and I feel like finally that's getting some recognition.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So anything other than those three, I think I would be fine with winning. I haven't seen all of them, and the ones that I have seen, I can't choose from because I love them so much.
Okay.
And I already said I would love if Call Me by Your Name would win, but I really think Shape of Water's going to take it.
All right. Well, that is the Oscars.
Yeah.
When do the Oscars premiere?
Is this first Sunday
March
in
4th.
March?
March 4th.
March 4th.
Hosted by Jimmy
So-
Kimmel on ABC.
Which, by the way,
Again,
you wanna
year
talk about
two.
that?
You know, he's the first host since the 90s to have a consecutive.
And he did a
He's a
phenomenal job, so I'm happy he's coming back.
He
I really
did.
like
I
Jimmy
love
Kimmel.
him.
I love him.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think that's the end of our first podcast episode.
So,
Yeah, I
well, actually, our second. You're hearing this in a two-parter.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed our two-parter episode. We had a lot of fun talking about the Oscars, and we can't wait to see if anything that we said turns out to be remotely true. Thank you, everyone who is listening. Please check us out, Bobcat Media Productions. We're on both Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And Instagram.
And Instagram. And Snapchat, but we don't
Probably
post
Tinder.
anything. Maybe Tinder. We might have found our way on there. But yeah, I don't think we really explained too much about what we were going in, so just real quick, we are a student film organization here at Georgia College.
Video production organization.
Yes, we make videos that also have to do with like films and such. And such. So, if you are interested in any of that stuff and want to put some faces to some of these voices, please check out our work. You can find it on both our Facebook and YouTube pages.
And
We're
if
better as
you're-
voices, though.
If you're a Georgia College student interested in film, then also feel free to
Video
come
production.
join us.
Absolutely.
ANS 351 at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays.
There you go. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It is.
And sometimes there's free food.
Sometimes, like beginning of the semester.
And
we're
the
in.
end of the semester.
And end of the semester.
And also the middle. We gotta keep them coming, guys.
Or whenever you bring food.
Also true.
And with that said, I am Brandon Johnston.
I'm Surafel Casa.
Hetty Bishop.
Ashley Cooper.
Olivia Murrah.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.